It would be helpful, and this is what your guides are saying right now, if you spent a day carrying around a hand mirror, pocket mirror, little mirror, whenever you're confused, you hold that out, or whenever anything gets particularly emotional in an uncomfortable way, or feeling helpless, in any way helpless, this is your putting things into perspective mirror. You hold it up, and you look into it to get the answer. And the answer is always going to be looking right back at you as you. Okay? Now, you'll keep it in your pocket, so when you happen to just touch it in your pocket, incidentally, it'll remind you have this tool. Now, you may not see the answer right away, but you know how it is when you look in the mirror long enough, you come to a blank slate. You basically clear, right? You don't fidget. You get to a point where you're just staring at the image of yourself. And you're very neutral, right? It's hard to tickle yourself or laugh at yourself in the mirror when you're very much just, it's just me, right? There is no high or low. There's no context here. Sure, you can say there's a mole, I don't like the mole, or my makeup's done wrong or something. But you take a moment, you just look into the honesty of your own eyes, and you say, what have we got here? What do we have? Because that will neutralize all your attachment to everything, and start to look at things as to why did I bring that vibration into this place. And you know what? It's like a dream. It's actually much, much simpler. See, we don't have a tendency for following our intuition in the way that we feel that the intuition is as useful as it should be. We actually don't trust our intuition as much as we think it should be. And you know as well as I do, if everyone trusted their intuition, this world would look like chaos, but then also like heaven at the same time.
Right. Yeah.
So, in this place, you take a moment and you say, I'm holding a mirror, and that's the symbol for what is in my reflection right here. Now, it's simple, so if you're talking with someone who feels like they have a crummy day and they're just, they're just depressed or something, and you're coming across this person, you don't even have to look at the mirror. You can just touch your mirror in your pocket and remind you, like, oh, the mirror. Okay?
Yeah,
but practice. Now, when you do that, the immediate reaction is, what do I get out of this? Like, where is this going? I want a solution. And it better get to a solution. Like this, it better work. Okay? Because that's the pressure you have on yourself for the fact that you deserve it all to work. This happens when you are both not giving attention to something very deep inside you, and you're also realized of really amazing things inside you. Your box is this wide, from really crummy things in the world, in your life, and around you, to really amazing. And you've got a toy box of experiences all in there from end to end. You've got a dictionary with not 10,000 words, but like 10 million words. Okay? You want to simplify it? That's what you really want to do, is you want to simplify the decision-making process. That's what discernment is. That's the practice of discernment. Is you go towards what is your body telling you is the path of least resistance. Path of least resistance, you indicated earlier, which was, I'm not going to say anything. Okay? But when you're in that moment where you realize this is not anyone but me, am I afraid of me? Am I afraid of saying something to myself? What would I say to me? Can I insult myself if I said anything? What would be the least insulting thing I can say to myself?
I've never thought
Maybe
of
I don't
that.
think of it as insulting someone. What would be the nicest thing I could say to myself? I should be saying nice things to myself. What is the nicest thing I could possibly say to myself? Because honestly, that's where I belong. Being in that vibration of the nicest thing I could possibly say to myself. And you find yourself in a world where everybody deserves you being nice to them. Why? Why does everyone deserve you being nice to them? Because that's who you really are. You deserve a world where people are nice to each other all the time. You may have 10 lifetimes to make up for by agreeing to culture and society's beliefs of, slam the other person's hand in the door if they're not fast enough. Okay? Like, you should be, you should be working with the system. You're not fitting with the system. You're not fitting with the system. Get with the system. Everybody has their own system. You know that honestly within you.
Yes.
Everybody has their own guidance. One
Yes.
person's right is some person's wrong, and one person's wrong is someone's right.
Right.
And so, if you're going to honestly compliment someone, you don't compliment them in a way that you don't want to repeat. It's like, that was really nice how you punched that guy in the face.
Sure.
Okay, are we talking about a professional boxing match here? Or are we talking about, domestic abuse? Because in different circumstances, you'll have different reasons for what you would say. How do you compliment the domestic abuse victim? You say something along the lines that's better than making things worse. And so, yes, that old principle that you remember, your body knows that one that says, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all. You remember that one being profound because you knew that you couldn't make things worse as a result of opening your mouth. But you want things to be better. You don't want to leave things neutral. You don't want to leave things the way they are. You know you're powerful, and you know you have the energy to make a difference. That
Yeah.
is instinctually within you when you connect to your divinity through spirituality, religion, whatever you're doing. You know instinctually
Hmm.
that you can be a part of the solution. How do you do it? Your body is the one watching. Your lowest chakras are the one testing you here. What is she going to do? Is she going to spew some philosophical elements that the other person can't conceive because it's 10 years down the road in context of what the meaning of life is that you've gone through, but they haven't? Will they connect with that? Or will they connect with something more literal? Like just patting them on the shoulder. Or
Very
just
good.
saying, let it out.
Right.
Let it out. Because if you choose to just ask them to let it out, you know that you're getting their toolbox of things coming out. But if your intention is, you know what? It's there for a reason. And if I see some little area, I might find something I can specifically help with. I may not be able to help them with the whole problem, but I can help them with that little thing. I know that much.
Hmm.
And
Right.
so you offer your focus in that if you ask them to let them out. You can ask what's wrong without being overwhelmed with it when you know that you're trying to help. Now, when you know this place where you say, I'm just trying to help, and you tell the other person, I'm just trying to help, I'm just trying to help. You know how people get into that. They're like, oh my God, why are you biting my hand off? I'm just trying to help.
Hmm.
Right? What's this all about?
They don't necessarily want help.
And the sign is that you're not helping the way
Mhm.
that they're going to receive it.
Right.
Okay? You want to know how they're going to receive it.
Hmm.
Guess what? You know what that means? You're going to have to go back to the 3D drawing board and understand how a 3D person or a person that is not sensitive to their guidance is feeling it. Why would you be given that opportunity? Because when you accomplish that, you'll know if you've never done this before because it'll be a bit of a challenge. Okay? It'll be like, how do I help that person who is a domestic abuse victim? I don't help them. I never had a domestic abuse victim. I've never had that problem. I've seen some movies or something, right? I'm going into this blind. Guess what? If it's new to you, then it has exponential opportunities. Now, you want to rewrite domestic abuse. Find a way to make that a beautiful story of discovery and growth, right? Because
Right.
that would be the good feeling way of going about this. This idea of cheering people up for the sake of cheering people up is nice. But if it's something literal, right? And they don't want just cheering someone up for the sake of cheering someone up sometimes doesn't feel like it's going to go very far.
Hmm.
But if you get down in there, right? You start helping them in the dark, trying to figure out what's really going on. You help them in the dark. You can only do that under one specific circumstance, is if you know where you belong. Okay? And when I say belong, I don't mean egoically belong. Your context is, I'm helping. When you hear yourself saying, I'm just trying to help, that's you saying, I don't know how to help you. And I really hope that you accept my problems helping you. And when that occurs, that means you've got more problems than the other person does.
Hmm.
Because now you've got something you can give attention to and say, I've got something I can work on. I got something I can develop. Sometimes that's actually all it is. It's as simple as that. It's to make you out to be a buffoon, and that person hates at a soul level in some dimension. They hate having to be the bad guy to tell you off, right? But you weren't going to exactly tell yourself off because you practiced all the high vibrations, but you weren't going to give attention to these low issues of where this hurts you. Okay?
Right.
So in this way, say, I can resolve all pain as long as it's within me. You can always solve your own problems. Is that right? You have all the skills, you have all the broader insights and all the collective wisdom you've been through in your life. You have the solution to all your problems, but most people don't pay attention to their problems. They like the outer world. They give attention to the outer world. They give attention to the people. Okay? It's hard to do your makeup without a mirror. That's how it really is. You want to do your makeup? You want to be wonderful? Use a mirror. Use a darn mirror. It'll make it easier. Let someone else bring to you the problem that you can address. And how do you do it? We don't say, oh, I hate my makeup. You say, I'm going to have some patience here. I've never done makeup before. Yeah, I know this as an experience as a boy and trying makeup on. I was like, this is not instinctual. Okay. You know, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to try it out. No, I'm screwing up. I'm going to see if I can clean it up. You work your way around with patience. You don't say, like, I screwed it up. I'm never doing this again. Throw it away. There's a certain degree of, like, detachment from the end result because you're slowly making the progress. You're slowly easing your way. So when we want to help people, and it's like, oh my God, it's so difficult. It looks like means you're going to have to do slow and steady on this. Slow and steady. And anybody that has a lot of time to give, that's a sign that they got room for slow and steady for people. Okay? So in this case, when you want to help someone, first critically sort out, do you have the time to go slow and steady? Or you have the other option. Do you have something nice to say that you believe is actually deserving? Do you have something nice to say? Because if you say something nice to say that they don't sort of deserve it, you're kind of only giving them, half a candy. Okay?
Yeah.
You're really, you could do more, right? And half a candy doesn't feel sufficient in many cases, so make a decision. Am I going to go for this or am I not? Path of least resistance says, I don't have to do anything. You don't. Because you know what? Fundamentally, everything outside of you doesn't matter. You could figure this all out in your own bathroom, in your own mirror. You can figure the whole world out in meditation. You can. But you know what? It goes really fast if you have a mirror. You can become Buddha overnight. Just by deciding to walk up on stage at a rock band and sing your heart out, even if you absolutely suck. In fact, it's even better if you suck. Because you will destroy and transform yourself in that experience.
Yeah.
You will. And that's it. The pace that you go at with regards to working with people is entirely, do I have the time to go through this? Because you know what? Just like the systematic element we call karma, where things come around, we call karma like a problem. But it's basically saying things come up when you're ready to take another shot at it. And the one thing the Pleiadians, one thing I would say is nearly at the top of the list of things that they taught me. Is the most amazing thing. Everything you're ready for. You are ready. If something shows up, you are ready.
See, I believe that too,
Yes.
and
Now,
yes.
it can be
Excellent.
like, oh my God, I'm going to have to jump up on stage and start singing with Bon Jovi here and prove myself. But you know what? If it showed up, you're ready. But the human life is so dramatic, right? There's so much drama out there. It's only interesting if it's a 50-50 chance, right? Your odds are you're going to make the most money if it's a 50-50 chance, right? You get even more money if it's less than 50-50, if you have a less than 50% chance. That's Vegas, right? Less than 50. Oh, it's really good if I accomplish this. But you know what? Life, it doesn't get below 50-50. You always have a 50-50 chance of doing this. which means you only have to have a slightly brighter disposition to accomplish it. Slightly better than pessimism, slightly more optimism, which means it may take you a while because you have slightly more optimism in this approach. You can only say one slightly nice thing here to this person. Slightly nicer than saying slightly not so nice, right? And you know that it's slightly nice because it's kind of universal. It's not, it doesn't have any sort of like backwards intentions here. You might not use the word love in there. You might not even use the word good. You might just say, I'm going to smile. And just try to exude a positive vibration here. I'm just going to give the person validity by looking into their eyes. Like it's validating the fact that they have something to overcome here. And in the mirror, it's all yours anyways.